Welcome to Privet Palm Beach Presents, bringing you everything Palm Beach. Coming to you from our active storefront studio in the exciting new Nora district.
This episode of Privet Palm Beach Presents is brought to you by Caprock, a privately owned multifamily office serving Palm Beach and beyond. Caprock provides independent wealth advisory and investment services for families, foundations, and institutions. Learn more at caprock.com.
This week brings us Good Day Palm Beach, with hosts JAYNE Chase, Jack Lynch, and Carolina BUIA. Be sure to subscribe, follow, like, and share our multiple channels in the show notes.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another great segment of Good Day Palm Beach. We are in our Nora studio, and speaking of Nora, we have just done a great little walkthrough, and there's so much going on here. It's incredible what's going on over here, and I want everybody to know about it because it's so exciting, this development here. It's an area that I don't think a lot of people really know about. It's not going to be just another one of those places that develops in Palm Beach.
Right.
It's going to be like the place.
And very thoughtfully done. And you're still in downtown and walkable.
Exactly. And it's all very high end. Beautiful hotel that's opening in September. Pastis is going to be in the hotel. They're working on parking, biking. They've just thought about everything. And art, exactly.
No, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
And you know about this so much because you live near here, Jack.
Yeah, no, I think people will be interested to hear what we found out.
Now we're going to meet one of the key figures behind the Nora district.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another great episode of Good Day Palm Beach. I am JAYNE Chase, along with Carolina BUIA and Jack Lynch. And our guest today is the very handsome, the very young, the one and only Ned Grace. We all hear about Ned all over West Palm Beach. He is one of the managing partners at NDT Development and the genius behind the development of Nora. Can I call you a genius?
Please don't.
Anyways, we're here to talk to you about this amazing development where our studio is also located. So, Jack, Carolina, guys, take it away.
All right. Well, first of all, the district is running from Palm Beach Lakes to Quadrille, Dixie to Railroad Avenue. It's 40 acres. Is that right?
Yeah.
And phase one is Railroad Avenue, which is open for business.
Yep.
We've kind of done a tour. We're going to share that. And then the hotel, which is at the end towards Palm Beach Lakes, is opening September, October, taking reservations now.
Yeah. Yeah, so the first phase, which is all the industrial buildings that we had purchased. The backstory on Nora is this was historically the Flagler's railroad station would stop in West Palm Beach here, and then the train would go over to the breakers. Oh. And so these buildings that were along North Railroad Avenue, which is it's a collection of 12 buildings in our portfolio of our first phase of retail, were accessory uses to the railroad station in the 1920s. And so these buildings had unique character, and so that was what we sort of pinpointed as our first phase of placemaking. And so, all of the other development that will come behind this first phase, will sort of play off of this, pedestrian-friendly, walkable, F&B oriented district. And so that was, that's we phased it like this, to get people here, to get people comfortable, to do something at human scale. And then some of our other development is, larger scale. In some cases, and all different types of uses.
That's so smart because you know what? It's manageable what's open now, so everybody can get familiar with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we're in the process. We've opened up our first group of tenants. We're in the process of building out a bunch of restaurants, and the restaurants were really sort of the original ethos of this was that in order to create a destination, you needed a bunch of best-in-class F&B and
and a lot of New York names.
Yeah, a lot of New York names
popping up, and then some local names as well.
Yeah, and we're trying to cover every food group, every day part.
You've got Mexican, you've got Italian,
neighborhood coffee shop to super high end fine dining, and it's it's across lunch and dinner, and it's across all different it's sushi, Mexican, French, American, ice cream,
having a
bagels
pastis at the hotel is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's a large pastis. Yeah.
There's no other. Is there another pastis outside of New York?
There's Miami and just Nashville just opened, and then there's DC. So
that's I didn't
huge.
know that. That's huge.
Yeah.
And H&H Bagels. Can we just have a moment? Thank you.
I have eaten at every single one of your restaurants and the ice cream.
Me too.
Yeah, well, that means we need a lot more restaurants. So
But it's good because you can get your hair blown out. You can get ice cream. You can go to dinner.
You can drop the kids off while you get your hair blown.
Yeah, and it's actually it's
the
funny.
parking's amazing. It's easy.
Yeah.
There's this karate concept here.
Oh yeah.
And once the restaurants start opening up, they're going to start like letting people drop their kids off from 6 to 10 while they go have dinner at Del Mar or Pastis
Oh
or
my gosh, that's
Loco.
so
And
smart.
so it's like a built-in babysitter.
That's awesome.
But yeah, there's we've started with this sort of daytime oriented stuff, and now over the next couple months, a bunch of full service restaurants will open, which I think will change the whole dynamic of how this looks and feels at night. And
It's great. I mean,
and then there's 40. So there's 40 acres. Phase 1 is open. Phase 2 will be a start with the housing.
well,
component.
so phase 1, the 160,000 square feet will be all done at this time next year.
Yeah.
So it's probably you have all of our office users will move in, all the restaurants will be finished. The hotel will open up in September of 2026.
This year.
Yeah,
That's great.
And that'll include Pastis. It has a 900-person rooftop with multiple bars, another restaurant on the roof,
great. So fun.
branded spa on the ground floor, nice high-end spa, big brand. That
And
you'll
it's
know.
being run by the Bowery Hotel Group.
The same group. It's called the group that runs it. It's a guy named Richard Bourne and Sean McPherson, BD Hotels. And they're our partners, and actually they're our partners now in everything. They're involved in
great.
That's
all
great.
aspects.
They're
More
pros.
involved in the hotel, but obviously the curation of what's around the hotel is something that I think in the past that they wish they had done more of. So they opened the Bowery next to a methadone clinic, and and they changed the whole vibe of that neighborhood, and they didn't own all the adjacent real estate. So in this case, when they came here, they said we want to be a part of all aspects of this and a bigger part of the hotel. So that's sort of phase 1 is the retail and the hotel. Phase 2, we're breaking ground right now on a very high-end multifamily building, 350-unit multifamily building. It's a monstrosity, beautifully designed New York architect called Morris Ajmi, and that'll have.
It's a rental building.
It's a rental building. It'll have a continuation of retail, so there'll be retail. It's directly across the street from the hotel, so the retail will continue all the way up. Past the hotel, there'll be, I think it'll be more of your soft goods, oriented higher end brands that want to
So
play
the
off
first
the
floor
hotel.
will be retail, and then the condominium.
And then there's
apartments.
within that building there's townhomes and there's also
And we need more rental assets. here
it'll
at
be
West Palm
it's very
Beach.
similar. It'll be similar
No
to the
question.
Laurel.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, very 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 high.
Did
end.
you get the
Which
gas
is great.
station on the corner?
Yeah, so that's going to be a condo site. So the gas station checkers.
You know that
area.
gas station marathon?
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
That's
in the
eventually
Checkers.
a condo site, yeah. And then, so that'll be the second phase of condos. The first phase of condos is where my office is, which is between 10th and 11th on Dixie. And it's actually super. I was just in a meeting on it. It's beautiful, and it's very
Nora House.
very unique. It's called Nora House.
Nora House.
So that'll start sales in March on the condo side. We have a great partner
So
from
exciting.
the west coast of Naples.
And how many
So
units?
exciting.
How many condominiums?
It's 120 units in the first condo building, and then I'm not
How many
sure about the
stories?
second. It's a 12 stories, I think. Yeah. So you've got a protected neighborhood, so you've got great water views, and
And you're going to have great art as well.
yeah, big art program. That'll sort of all be the initial phase of the art program will be in place by the time the hotel opens. Where it's being manufactured right now, and they're working on it, but it's really cool.
Amazing.
One of the partners is the mind behind Wynwood.
Yeah, so early on when we started buying, initially we were introduced to Joe, and Joe's company is called Place Projects. Joe's a lawyer by trade and had done a lot of the policy work to do these large-scale neighborhood transformations, Wynwood being the primary example, a lot of the rezoning, and then a lot of the curation, the initial tenants. And I think what we learned from, and Joe's been our day-to-day partner now for 7 years or something, but what we learned from Wynwood is, Wynwood was sort of this interesting story where you put in these high quality restaurants and art galleries, and then all of a sudden development pressures and big buildings come up and it sort of gets disrupted. And so we were really intentional about making sure that our initial retail run could remain there in perpetuity and could really sort of be, not beholden to, to these investment pressures where we're going to pull down buildings and build high rises.
Right.
It's really meant to be pedestrian first and lower scale. So
There's so much going on in terms of real estate around Palm Beach and West Palm Beach. It's something that the three of us talk about all the time. And, getting the word out about what's here and what's coming. What is the marketing plan that's in place? You guys have a communications firm that you work with that you can share with everyone, or?
Yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of different sort of outlets for marketing, right? You're doing it in phases. So there's it's constantly, there's this sort of larger scale marketing program that's, anything from billboards and, paid media to, we have a sophisticated PR team on the B2B side and the B2C side now.
Yeah.
And then, you're working with each of these different tenants. The nationals specifically have, big marketing teams that we interface with. And then you're coordinating, we're still finishing up the first phase. So there's a lot of sort of this grand launch is coming here. We needed a couple more restaurants to get open, but there'll be a ton of events and programming, and that's that schedule is being built right now, and that's what people are working on all day, every day. So we have in-house marketing, and we have external marketing, and we have external PR.
It's just a competitive, story actually, because there are a lot of people that are building. I can't remember if it was LaGuardia or Westchester Airport where I saw a huge billboard
for Nora
on Nora.
Oh, is that
It
right?
was really great. Yeah, it was at the baggage claim, I think.
Okay.
Since I'm the only person who's still.
So, in a perfect world, when would Nora be completed?
In its entirety, it's probably
5
years, 10? 7. Yeah, I think our last sort of phase building will start 5 years from now. But it'll, with the hotel open, and and then we're doing a bunch of residential housing. So in the center of the neighborhood, which is currently made up of small format single family homes and small multifamily, those will be transformed into a new walkable urban type of low scale residential. And so we're working on planning that now, where you're going to see, there'll be walking paths and green space, and each of the streets that get you into Nora will be a complete street that'll be, highly amenitized with, the right type of sidewalk, and will look and feel like it should.
Right. So exciting.
Cool. Yeah.
How many people will live in Nora?
So the first multifamily building is 350 units. The second one, which is just to its north, is in planning right now. That's another 350 units. The two condo towers are there's a couple hundred units there.
And then single family houses.
Let's just say 60 or so single family and or small format townhomes.
Jack's looking to move.
No, because I live in the north end, and I have to say the Northwood, that Nomar, it's 100 houses. I was not thrilled with the way the houses are turning.
Yeah, we're our whole ethos is about design and scale, and trying to do things that are authentic. And I think when it's a different business, like the cookie cutter, more cookie cutter sort of production home build versus what we're going to do is much more bespoke. There's 10 different architects involved. And
it's amazing. It's really top quality.
It's such a big project. This is such a big project. And it was something that you and I were talking about before we came to the studio today. It's 40
acres. We don't control all of it, but we control a big chunk of it.
But how long did it take you
8
to
years.
get everything in place? 8 years.
Yeah, so we were acquiring the real estate for a few years, and then we were getting it. We had to go through a major city process to get it entitled. It was all single. There was the main industrial sort of section, and then there was a bunch of single family land and a few houses that we had to get rezoned for 10 and 20 story buildings. And so that took,
at his age, because I know how old he is, he was so young to start this. And it's a huge undertaking.
It's a huge
to compete with
undertaking.
all the players that are in West Palm, to assemble this assemblage of real estate at that age is
And
major.
we were talking, our last person that we interviewed, who's also a real estate guy, was saying, he had, I can't remember what the number was, but there were a lot of people he had to kind of
that was
buy out
Alara.
from
They
the
had
industry.
Alara had quite a few.
Exactly. It was the
8
same kind of
acre.
he
undertaking.
bought from us. Yeah, we had a piece.
Yeah. But it requires a lot of patience.
And vision.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like venture. It's like venture investing, right? Because you don't know that you're going to get everything, and so it's like a checkerboard of so it's really hard to attract outside investors to this idea until you have, critical mass, and then once you have critical mass, obviously all the value is that in what you can ultimately build there.
And the city helps you.
The city. What was very unique about what we did was we went to the city early on and said, let this be, your project. So the city really they were the applicant for the rezoning. They thought it was a good idea, and they really shepherded, the project through. And they've been a real ally to us throughout, rather than us as a private developer come in and of try to shove this down the throat of, this was like, it was really thoughtfully done with the city as our partner. And what did they want to see? What did we want to see? And could we marry those two things?
Yeah.
And
because there's so many historic districts you can't touch. I think there's 14 historic districts in West Palm.
Yeah.
And so like your air rights over Providencia Park, like that's never going to change.
Yeah, there's some landmarked homes in there, and so you've got
they can't go high. They
can't go high. Yeah, and so that's a great thing for the view corridors that we're creating.
But that's so nice to not have all these high rises. I mean, one thing I love in New York City, the West Village.
Yeah.
Is that you've got that lower profile.
Well, we're one of the only, interestingly enough, us in Providencia Park, Nora and Providence are one of the only places where you actually have small scale residential single family homes in the downtown master plan. So there's nowhere else in the downtown. The downtown stretches from Palm Beach Lakes to Okeechobee, technically.
El Cid is on the other side.
And then, El Cid, obviously, those neighborhoods are to the south of the downtown master plan. But this is the only, really, truly downtown living, single family.
And there'll be paths to walk to City Place.
We're working on a lot of connectivity.
What about biking?
Yeah, we've got Bright Bikes just came in, all that just got installed last week has been actually pretty successful. People I'm shocked at how many people use them, and it's great. And then there's a million different there's a million different sort of things that we're working on that are meant to help with some of the infrastructure and moving people around and getting people into the district. It's funny to people come, they think what they think, and then they leave. But there's a much bigger story, and so we're kind of of the mentality that we'll show
You're
you
still
what
writing
we're doing.
this chapter.
Yeah.
Plus, there's free parking. There's valet parking.
There's great valet parking. We've got a lot of parking that's by the hotel. That right now it's a little bit of a construction site, so we're working through that, and we've had to sort of work through the parking, which is difficult, right? Parking. Everyone has a different objective, and there's a different use case for all different parkers. Some people aren't comfortable with valet. But parking has been one of the bigger challenges that we're attacking it in a big way as part of our vertical development. So, we're working on a big underground parking deck that'll service the district, and
and the residential will have.
They all have their own dedicated parking. Yeah, all the residential projects have.
Will you provide shuttles going back and forth to the island?
We're talking about a bunch of different things like that. Maybe not to the island, just sort of generally, but definitely shuttling. A lot of the employee shuttling is happening, and we've talked to Palm Beach. Palm Beach owns the piece that's on the southern border, bordering Quadrille.
Right.
They have a site right there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
And when they decided to go paid parking. People were up. A lot of the business owners were up in arms, and and so we've tried to sort of at different points in time we've tried to work with them in terms of how do you get employees over to the island to work in these businesses.
Right.
The breaker shuttles. Buses.
So we'll do some stuff like that.
So does the colony. A lot of people do.
And then there's a bunch of things, shuttle oriented things that are totally new to West Palm Beach that are going to be launching over the next 24 months.
So exciting. You are truly a visionary. I mean, you meet certain people that that you're here in this world to do what you're doing. Really. I mean,
maybe.
No. I mean, the path is so clear. It really is. At least to us, because we're in awe of what you're doing. And your plate is so full. Are you thinking about doing it anywhere else?
Not like this.
Okay.
I think we've got plenty to do here. We're doing things. I think the way that I've always thought about the world, and I know my partners think about the same, is there's a certain level of sophistication where I can come from New York, and I
went to Vanderbilt,
and I went to Vanderbilt. So watching Nashville grow and coming from New York, there were things that this market didn't offer, and there was a lot of it was consumer facing, like neighborhood bar, for example, we did 10 years ago, or whatever these different things might be. We've looked at what doesn't exist and what do we think should exist, and so this was, Nora was a really, it was sort of a culmination of all of the different ideas. We want a place that we can just get in the car, go to, and find a place to eat dinner, or do multiple things, and something that was easy to understand, a singular street. And so when Nora started out, it wasn't meant to be this big assemblage. We were going to do 50,000 square feet of F&B concepts with us and our friends, and ultimately we saw that this was a bigger opportunity. We are working on other things in the market. We're doing a court club project out by Trump International that's a racket club concept with full padel, pickle, tennis, spa, gym.
I
pool.
know who you're doing that with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're working on that right now, and so we'll do things like that. I think for us, we're really market focused. So we've done a lot of different things in this market. But we're geographically focused. We're not looking to do something
right. Good. We want you for us.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Ned, for joining us. And you're really it's so fascinating to see.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what else is coming. And
it'll be exciting. I think when you see these vertical these new buildings are going to be really quite special.
We're talking you up. We're talking you up in Nora.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. February is an extremely busy month. It really is.
We're launching a collection with the Everglades Foundation to
Tell
benefit
us about
the Everglades.
that, Jack, because I know it's just landing in the stores now.
It's coming in this week, and we had men's collection, women's, and it's we give a percentage of sales back to the Everglades, Foundation, which their big event is on the 14th at the Breakers.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
County Crows. Going to be fun.
And, Kevin McLaughlin, the founder with his brother Jay, they really feel like Florida's our second home. And we wanted to give back and help with conservation. The Everglades Foundation protects the water supply for 9 or 10 million Southern Floridians. So the ecosystem, the restoration process, the Everglades, we're here to support that. Because we call it our second home. Like Florida's our company's second home.
Exactly. And also the way that water flows.
Yeah.
That, if half of the state is cut off with bad water, it affects the rest of the state.
Yeah. You've seen red tide.
Yes, we've all been here when it's been like that, definitely.
So that's
very generous of Jay McLaughlin to do that.
We're really happy. It's our 9th year doing it.
It's beautiful.
And the collection is so pretty.
It is so pretty.
Yeah.
I already have my eye on a few things.
Yeah. It's so pretty, Carolina. It's so pretty. It really is.
We're happy to do it.
Yeah. Well, you guys are awesome. So, all right, guys. Well, we will get through the month one day at a time because it's the season in Palm Beach. It's so busy.
And for Valentine's Day, I am going to be running with Hope for Depression. There's still time to sign up.
That's great.
8 in the morning.
Well, it's a great organization, and it's beautiful.
And 100% of the donations go straight to depression research, and they're about to start clinical trials on humans.
It's really
for
great.
a non-SSRI medication to help depression.
And we can donate
still
to your
sign
team.
up. Yes,
we
I'm
can
on
donate
the
to your
Bill
team.
Bouquet team.
Let's do that.
Oh,
Let's
nice.
do that, Jack.
Love it.
That will
And
make
come
sure
out
that you
and
get
run in the
your
morning.
mince pies next Thanksgiving.
There's no depression in Palm Beach.
Please follow us at Good Day PB, at Privet Palm Beach, and also find us on Privet sites on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
Bye, everybody. See you soon.
Perfectly Palm Beach Candles and Diffusers, the official scent of Good Day Palm Beach, can be found at Hive, Lily Pulitzer, and many more local stores. Also online at perfectlypb.com. The perfect Palm Beach gift. Privet Palm Beach Presents is a production of Privet Studios and is available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify platforms. You could reach out to us on Instagram at Privet Palm Beach and at theprivet.com. Thanks to the Privet Studios team, including Summers Laffey, Will Cannon, our friends at Mass Inbound, and music by Kevin MacLeod.
Exactly.
Well, Royal Poinsettia Plaza is so much busier now with the restaurant and the new Playhouse open.
Tutamare.
There's
Have you
a
guys
lot
been
going-
to Tutamare?
Not yet.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it does look beautiful.
Oh, it's so stunning.
Yeah, people rave about it.
I love the Polo Room. I think the Polo Room.
I'm
the-
so happy
I have
to
not
hear you
been
say
there
that.
No,
yet.
the Caesar. I judge a
is
restaurant
so-
by their Caesar. And I have to say the Caesar.
It is the best Caesar salad
Really?
I've ever
Okay.
had.
Kale
and their
Caesar.
steak, because it's an Argentine. It's not
It's
so.
so good.
We're gonna talk to him. I think it's
I need to
Yeah.
go.
It is so
But
good.
you go early. You sit at the bar. You don't need a reservation. It's easy because I can't eat. And late. I don't like to eat late. I like to eat early.
I
Yeah,
always eat late.
I know.
You do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I'm European. We eat late. We got too much going on.
Yeah.
It's not good for you.
But
Excited.
24th.
February isn't